Down the line, Abigail Mullen right on cue to open things up. Here is Megan Verbees, 5'6" grad defensive specialist out of Manhattan Beach. Back to serve.
Go, go, go!
Block touch, chased down by the Trojans. Trubant with the dig, and then that ball missed in transition. London Weejay wearing number 2 in Cardinal. Here's Francesca Popescu, defensive specialist, 5'6" freshman out of Georgia. Tight pass, that can't be saved by Messer. Messer was back row there. It looked like they let her get away with that on the second contact. And Coach Keller telling us right before first serve, when I very cordially came over to say hello to you, not me necessarily, and saying that Taverdi was very, very good behind the setter and get an opening look there. Nice block on the outside. Mullen along with Taverdi. Small sample size here with just the 10th match, but USC is currently statistically the top blocking team in the country. Very nice first contact by Mullen. Brad Keller said they weren't. BYU was good. We just didn't do anything special that particular night, which frustrated him. Yeah. Not a real sense of urgency in that particular match against a quality opponent as Desjardins, 6'1" senior out of nearby Pasadena, goes back to serve. 53 swings 24 hours ago. The gift of youth. Good start to her redshirt sophomore season, averaging just under 3 kills per set, hitting .291, a very, very solid number. 22-10 last year, 13-7 were the USC Trojans before they lost to Texas in the second round of the NCAAs. Is this the year? To your point, nicely done. A perfect pinpoint reception leading to a good attack out of the middle of the court. Sawyer Thompson with the kill in that particular situation was good. Yesterday, late afternoon, 10 of 21 against LSU. Mullen down the line once again and missed it wide. Well left by the libero Johnson for Cal.
And in the same vein, I think if you were to speak to Brad Keller at this moment, their first contact is not where it needs to be, either running their offense from the 3-meter line right now.
Reception has been pretty good for the Trojans. I'll give you the numbers on the year as that ball sails long. And here is Messer at the line for the first time. Cal's offense has been struggling, 11.2 kills per set and hitting only a .154. Good stab by Desjardins, keeping the ball off the floor for Cal. That ball missed out of bounds. Decker, a little bit tight. Weejay off the block. Good deflection by Cal. Right side to Mullen. Good cover by Trubant. Good work by both teams at the defensive end. And another service error, maybe too many of those early on. 3 for Cal and now 3 for Brad Keller's Trojans. Once again, they come in ranked number 19. They were picked to finish 6th in the Big Ten. Decker, medium pass and trying to make the connection out of the middle. McGinnis not quite there with Messer. Here is Verbeest wearing number 4 in the Cardinal jerseys for USC.
It's going to be 4 contacts. That is the call.
Yeah,
so
good call, Cameron.
They're going to say that first contact was not, in fact, a block touch.
Tight pass. And put quickly to the 4 by 55 in blue. Peyton Desjardins. Desjardins right there on the overpass. Very nice play in system. Weejabe dug in the backcourt by Phils. Desjardins again. Five-1 run now for Cal. Take the advantage. Weejabe up into the top of the block, coming overhead, no to Mullen, back to Weejabe. Abigail Mullen back to serve. Already with 10 aces so far, make it 11.
That serve, that's why you call it a float serve, from left to right, really forcing that serve receive, have their platform to perfection. Cal has been struggling again with their serve reception, as they do once again. Attack, that time trying to find the deep shoulder of the serve receiver. Beautiful pass.
Yeah, Trubant right there, and Taverdi's got a really. 17-14 is the advantage. Nice offense that time, and then ripped down the line by Dominique Phils.
That is the kind of offense you want to see if you're a fan of the Golden Bears. Starts with a perfect pass off the left side, jump set, and a one-on-one opportunity. You want to score 100% of the time on those.
Tough serve, overpass coming, joust with Messer. There is the libero Deckert. That was a very easy serve. You can tell the difference on the eyeball test between Mullen right now and Deckert, at least for the last attempt. Fomoina going high flat, number 1 for USC. Head coach Brad Keller just slammed his fist on the scores table right in front of us on that miscue from the service line. Boy, this is sloppy serving from both teams. Service errors, 5 each. That ball off the block and just out of bounds. McGinnis there with Fomoina. Nice pass by Fomoina. Cover by Deckert. And nice hard swing. Desjardins off the edge of the block that time, number 55 in blue.
There's definitely an opportunity for Cal right now to take advantage. Desjardins finds just the edge of Fomoina.
Phil's back to serve for Cal, now trailing by 2. Been so far an opening set of runs. Perfect pass. McGinnis hitting at a 360 clip so far in the non-conference. Last non-conference matchup for each of these teams, both starting conference play next week. The Trojans at Penn State and Ohio State. Desjardins thought that was a pretty good swing, but missed the top of the block and out of bounds, and another timeout will be utilized. 2 timeouts per team per set, and Cal will call timeout here, now trailing 22-18. Family affairs here at USC today. We'll talk more about that as the match goes on. Good play and good response out of the middle for the Cal Bears, currently coming in with a record of 3-6. They have lost 4 in a row, and yesterday late afternoon probably concluded about 6 o'clock local time. 3 sets to 2, 15-13 in the 5th to LSU. Nice rhythm, and Weejabe down the line. That's nice looking rhythm there, but missed once again by Desjardins. First of 5 set points. Verbeest on to serve. Pretty good reception by Phils. And tracked down, good hustle by Trubant. And 1 set point saved by the visitors from Cal. Cal now competing out of the ACC along with Bay Area mate Stanford. Francesca Popescu, 5'6" freshman out of Georgia, on to serve. Set point again for the Trojans. Trubant right on target. Taverdi is dug. Chance again for Cal to stay in. The block of USC was the story of this opening set. Trubant on to serve, last year's libero, and has been replaced for the moment by Taylor Deckert. But that's a really strong bookend. Remember the littles that became college volleyball talking point for Nebraska? That's what Brad Keller wants to do with Trubant and Deckert.
Yeah, you should feel good about your side-out ability, having both of them in with that first contact. However, right now, not looking like the case after the first 2 points.
Working on Wee J in reception and also in attack, and coming on to serve once again. Sophia Johnson, 5'9" junior out of Minnesota, had 25 digs earlier on in a loss. Another 5-set match to Vandy. Passes good or perfect at 67%. That's just too much heat that time.
And to finish my thought on that, it's not to say that they don't work on the technical, but it also allows Messer to play in what Brad Keller calls kind of this free flow state, saying she's athletic, she has this vision innately, and he just wants her to exist in that space as a freshman setter. Understandably so.
Yeah, Popescu on to serve. I mean, USC does have some pretty good tradition at the setting position. There have been some incredibly competent players in that particular role through the decades. And she is the latest, comes in very, very highly regarded. Another miss down the line. Mullen has missed wide a couple of times on that swing. The ball drifts just long. 6 service errors so far for Cal. Mullen now just 2 of 8 in the attack phase and a couple of errors. Trojans, can they take advantage of the free ball? They can on the slide. Taverdi has got some pop either in front or behind, as does McGinnis. Her bookend at the middle blocking position. Very smart shot over the top. That was Arissa Carbonara out of Cairo, Texas. Part of this outstanding freshman class for Jen Malcolm, and more coming in the years ahead for Cal. Oh, smart shot. Tucking down inside is Mullen. Carbonara has come on to replace Desjardins. Very hittable set in transition, but missed out of bounds by Famuina. Oh, that had some pop and some confidence in it by number 1 for USC. Another miss wide by USC. The middle combination just not there so far. We've seen some good ones from Taverdi, but some unforced errors that need to be cleaned up by USC.
Trying to find McGinnis again in that gap set. That means she's further to the left side, less room to work to the sideline. By Reese, and Mullen off the tape and out of bounds. Again, Sturbu comes to Cal and gets the chance to play right away. Analea Mader transferred to Creighton, so it opened things up, and Coach Malcolm knew that she needed at least a backup coming in to fill in for Natalie Lau. And now Sturbu's in the lineup. Yeah, and she does a nice job kind of flinging the ball around, according to her coach. An area of focus, just like on the opposite side of the net, is trying to find opportunities to set her middles.
Boy, I love that set that time by Messer. Good dig into the cross court by Cal, and a better block. And nobody happier than Adanya Fomuena, who made a mistake and pulled off the net and got bailed out.
What a dig.
Quick transition and a smart shot. Marissa Carbonara, the 6'1 freshman, nice job, 19 kills earlier this year, if you will, against UC Davis.
It's a really heads-up play there as that ball just comes back quickly, recognizing defense does not have time to settle themselves.
Here's Johnson. USC took the opening set 25-20 behind 6 blocks to none for Cal. Nice chop into the cross court. Here's Popescu, who talked about how young both of these teams are. That was Anne-Marie O'Gara.
And a ball that is out of system turned in system.
Mullen now 3 kills on 11 swings, but 14 missed serves combined, 7 each. Excellent reception, good soft block. And on the slide, that's the best transition play we've seen so far. The kill by Michaela Hayden, but a really good delivery from Sturbu.
And talking to Jen Malcolm, she said, watch Hayden on the slide, one of the best slide attackers, and a skill needed to have a great slide attacker is somebody with great patience, their ability to read the set and then chase after it, going off of 1 foot. You see that there from Hayden.
Medium reception, good pace to the outside. Covered. Weejay, good reception. Carbonara with a dig. Ball missed out of bounds. Free ball to the Trojans. Not a perfect first contact out of that free ball. Carbonara with a roll. Nice stab that time by Deckard. Fantastic defensive effort. Right back at you by Popescu on the cover. And Deckard can't get that ball up. It's a small thing, but first ball contact in rally and in a free ball situation, gotta be perfect.
Well, there's the first save from Deckard, and what I'm impressed with is both teams really leveling up their offense. Cal not necessarily winning with tempo, however, it's the decision-making that's helping them to have this 2-point advantage from Sturbu. Set selection, so imperative.
Deckard, perfect pass, and Messer will take advantage. Deckard misses that long. Serve right now, a work in progress for the outstanding freshman libero out of Manhattan Beach, Taylor Deckard. Cal got out to the quick 4-1 lead, and it has been USC battling back ever since, now trailing 14-12. Good touch out of the middle by Thompson. And once again, the USC block controlling right now the rhythm and feel of this set. Oh, nice swing out of the back row. London Weejay with the kill. Ball on Messer. Deckard stepping in. And Fomoina going off speed. Off the top of the tape and out of bounds. Pretty good delivery in Mullen.
Coming back out of the timeout with a massive block, and you better watch out if you are USC. Cal's starting to have a little momentum and energy. Block points like that can be page turners.
Jen Malcolm has gone into her depth a little bit, bringing in Carbonara along with Anne-Marie O'Gara and getting some production. 16-14, the advantage for Cal. USC in control behind their big block, won the opening set 25-20. There's Fomoina. That's an easy serve and perfectly handled and just missed out of bounds. Boyna started most of last year back into the starting lineup after a slow start to this particular season. That ball looked like it was down. Maybe we'll have another challenge.
Phil's with a wild dig on that last ball.
Nice stab by Deckert. Weejay wristing over the top, and that ball can't be tracked down. Nice play. Beautiful reach into the cross court by Hayden.
After this week, I think we have to buy him a new iron.
That was an interesting part of the conversation. Might as well tell that story.
The poor man burned his pants with his iron.
His iron broke, and he does all his own ironing. So that became a thing the other day. That was on game day, too, if you don't have enough to think about. Cabanera with a kill into the cross court, 17 in blue for the Bears. And once again, the USC block. Sense of urgency on both sides as conference play starts next week. For SC, it's at Penn State and Ohio State. Nicely done by Weejay. Save for a position or two. This is a really young Cal team. We'll see how they respond to the block pressure applied by the Trojans. Good set in transition. Mullen not in rhythm right now offensively with Messer. Last year, the Big Ten Conference put 9 teams into the NCAA tournament. Chance in transition. Now tied at 19. Pressure on this young Cal team. Good response by Johnson in the reception. And into the cross court, Carbonara. Love to see Vanderbilt back in the college volleyball mix. Starting their program. Had some nice results early on. Nice dig by Johnson right on cue. Beautiful slide, but dug down the line by Deckert. And smartly off the block and out of bounds once again by Arissa Carbonara.
They've been going up and just recognizing that USC block. Again, with so many on the other side, they've got to find ways to score points. So I like kind of that press off, making them look for a different type of attack.
Once again, Cal looking for offense. They've got to replace the numbers for Maggie Lee. UCLA at Stanford later today. Hustle by Deckert, but another smart off-speed shot, that time by Dominique Fils. Well handled by Weejay, and down the line, one-on-one. Tied once again at 22, and number 10, Fils. Good smart shot into the deep cross-court corner.
There's a miscue on the USC block there. Again, Cal out of system. Whenever you see a setter chasing a ball off the first contact, you want to start to drift your block and push them towards that outside, as it's going to be one of those balls pushed all the way to the outside attack.
Neither team exactly on fire offensively, but Cal is certainly up their game at the offensive end. Reception is good, and McGinnis a touch off the top of the block, no question. Cal hitting at 111, USC only 083 before that kill by number 22. Father Willie McGinnis, tremendous All-American here on the football field, 3-time Super Bowl champion for New England. Good serve. And a slam dink through the block, and still kept alive by Mullen. That is not, sometimes misses are good. That was not a good miss. USC looking for their first lead of the set. Nice play, beautiful delivery, not only on the first ball reception, but also getting the ball to Thompson.
Perfect pass, and you looked for the one-on-one. How can you create one-on-ones? Well, when you know the USC block is immediately on the pins going towards each sideline.
Set point number 2, Deckert. Pretty good reception. That was a tough serve, and Mullen responds down the line. Mullen now 4 of 20 with 5 errors. Tied again. Out of system. Good high swing, restart the point. Cherbout with the delivery. Carbonara is dug. And then Messer and Weej misconnection on the quick set to the outside.
Cal with a critical set point here.
It is their third. Popescu back at the line.
Mullen in the right front corner. I envision she is the target.
Looking on Weej. That's a good choice as well. Good stab dig by Popescu. And that's off the top of the block. Big swing by number 30, Sherlyn Antonio, redshirt senior, coming in her first swing of the match so far. And Cal evens this up at a set apiece in LA. Just underway, third set. Dug by Deckert. Nice reaction by McGinnis. Not a good delivery that time by Messer. And good tap down. Out of the middle, working hard. Michaela Hayden, 6'1" senior, out of Buford, Georgia.
USC, from set number 2, it appears as if their blockers are starting to work more with a dedicated spread block. So initially on that first setter contact, they are just booking it to the pins.
Does a job for the Trojans at the defensive end. That was well done from the service line. Ball set too tight in transition. Weej trying to keep that ball alive. Verbeest would like to have that one back. Transition setting is a very, very important skill.
Yeah, without question. And I wonder, too, part of it is obviously knowing where your attackers are. Are they set? Is it a full approach that I'm giving them? And what's the opposing block look like? There's a lot going on for a setter in trans.
Good block move by Cal. Nice play by Taverdi. Got a very active arm. Mullen immediately getting Cal out of system. Carbonara, nice dug by Deckert. Cal's block is doing a better job. Maybe not another poor set in transition. Got to keep that ball off the net. That's a good one from deep. Carbonara again getting a lot of exercise in this particular rally. One-on-one blocked by Messer. Good reception by Popescu. Oh, look out. After a very, very tough serve by Mullen. That ball ripped down the line. Taylor Deckert took a shot. She seems to be no worse for wear. Easy for me to say. We talked about Mullen, 4 of 22 attacking, but she does have 3 aces and 7 digs and 5 blocks. That one hurt from here.
Yeah, that one just sucked the air out of the room.
Good sportsmanship that time by Hayden, immediately checking to see that Deckert was all right. Service ace.
In order to flip the script for USC, it's almost as if you have to go full counterintuitive here. To be able to play free, you have to want the ball. You have to imagine this ball is actually inbounds regardless of how close that is. You just have to go and take it.
Carbonara has been good off the bench now for Cal. It's strong at the service line. Mullen is blocked. And they have bounced back nicely. And Jen Malcolm has changed her lineup a little bit to very, very good effect. Nice play by Weej down the line, number 2 for USC. On the slide, a block again. Fomoena that time along with Taverdi. Give you the block totals in just a minute. And that ball tucked down inside Taverdi. 12 blocks now for USC to 3 for Cal. On the year, you talked about USC struggling, hitting 264 on the year. They're hitting 089 so far on the afternoon. Hayden with the serve.
And that's true on both sides of the net. Even for Cal right now, they've faced plenty of adversity with their youthful roster in the early season. And right now, they've got a big opportunity to create some identity on their side.
A very concerned Brad Keller. Conference play beginning on the weekend. Mullen out of the back row and missed that out of bounds. Continues to struggle offensively. As good as she has been, we featured her before first serve for a reason. She's been a really good freshman attacker.
Now with 7 errors on her side.
Weejay out of the back row, cross court, and missed that as well.
Looking all around on the side of USC, trying to figure out who's going to put the ball away. Fomoena, excuse me, is at 400. She might be my target.
5 of 10 with just 1 error. Good eye that time by Decker. Decker, chance now for the Trojans, one-on-one again, timing not there. Beautiful sprawl by Johnson with the pancake. Nice play by McGinnis. And again. USC on a 4-0 run. They won the opening set 25-20. Good response by Cal, 27-25 in the second. Here we are at a set apiece. Boy, Johnson, nice looking receiver with that first contact for Cal. And then on the overpass, ball put away by O'Gara. Here's Phils for Cal. And another ball served out of bounds, trying to serve tough. Right to Phils, easily handled. Good set in transition by the libero and better block. Messer having to play it. Weejay tucking down inside. Good block touch by McGinnis. Ball set a little bit too tight. Weejay able to snap over the top. And McGinnis again, connection not there, ball hit out of bounds. You talked about the middle connection that was the good version and the not so good version.
Space and timing. That time, perfect set. Should be able to be right on top of your setter.
Weejay looking for hands and missed that out of bounds. That's good set and timing. It's a really good point, because when you think about it, I mean, USC wants to go into conference play with some rhythm and confidence, and Cal could spoil that. Cal wants to do the same, and they've lost 4 in a row. And that ball missed out of bounds off the right side. Five-point advantage, now make it 4 after the nice kill off the left side. Peyton Desjardins, who'd been very, very good last night, albeit in a losing effort, started the match, struggled, and now back in.
Goes wrist away. You can see how the USC block really trying to force that block, or excuse me, that attack back cross court.
Still time for Cal. Thrown into the middle, Taverdi. Like that connection. Messer to Taverdi. Really good serve by Mullen. Cal scrambling. Back to Mullen. Open down the line. Dug by Johnson, the libero for Cal. Good block by Cal. Two players there for the Trojans. Would like to have that one back. Messer and Taverdi trying to get there in coverage.
Cal not necessarily coming away with a ton of stuff blocks, but to your point, several touches to try and slow down the offense of SC.
Danny Thomas Nathan coming on now. 6-foot senior out of Burbank. Boy, if you're Cal, you got to go right after. She's been sitting on the sideline for a long time. And in reception, and they do. Deckert steps in front. B1G now with a dozen kills on 33 swings. Block deflection, good first contact chance on the slide. Deckert, nice hustle. B1G on the chase. Beautiful slide. Good delivery that time by Stierbu. And off the edge by Hayden, number 7.
Here's that play from Deckert again. With the short ball coming from the middle of the court, she stays steady defensively as they continue to work with this slide attack.
Charlene Antonio, who put away set point in the opener, number 30, coming back on. Give a little more offense to Cal. 19-15 is the advantage for USC. 8-1 on the year, ranked number 19. Good reception, very good pass.
Lateral approach versus a vertical approach coming into the net.
And really good reception by Danny Thomas Nathan, who just come on the floor for USC. Free ball. Nathan steps right in. Good block again for USC. Joust, and Messer's very good. Reese Messer is very good on the joust. Our number 11 in the country as conference play begins. Oh, that ball luckily tucked inside and outside the antenna. A lucky bounce that time for Dominique Phils, registering the kill.
Now seeing 2 triple blocks for USC, meaning all 3 of their blockers coming to the outside and putting up 6 hands as opposed to 4 for the attackers of Cal.
Not a lot of college teams do that. It's difficult to transition out of a 3-person block, 3-woman block. 22-15 is the advantage. Nice pass by B1G and McGinnis. And Messer just long, but still a comfortable lead, 23-17 for USC. Deckert good in reception and good cross body. Back-to-back service errors, first by Messer and now by Fomoina. Good pass by B1G into the middle and close it out. Going middle once again. Nice reaction by Stierbu. Mullen now 8 kills on 29 swings, but it's been a tough afternoon in the air category. along with Texas, really, really complete teams going into conference play. Good play by Weejay. Love that set. On the other side, Sturbu in her second start. First was just last night. Four-2 advantage now for the Trojans. Excellent pass by Phils. And that's going to be a net violation.
Just a bit too tight of a set there as it came from the attacker in that case.
Yeah, both of these teams coming off this match or this week will have a lot to talk about going into conference play. Nice stab by Johnson. Boy, I like that set in transition. Lots of room to swing. Popescu, good first contact. Popescu to Sturbo. Deckert. Oh, no doubt about it. Deckert on the reception. Taverdi with a kill. Tough serve, kept off the floor. Oh, what a smart swing. Maybe a little bit lucky that time. Fourth set, SC leading 2-1. Excellent serve, pretty well handled that time by Weejay, and a smart shot on the pipe. Out to Phils and through the block and down for 10 in blue. Messer excellent in the joust again, and another one coming. Messer there again and wins them both. Nice first contact by the libero Johnson. Working on Phils. And Sawyer Thompson able to register the kill. One of the key reasons, number 15 in blue, that Cal was able to come back and win the second set.
Another set with just a bit of hang time. I like the ability to have that full swing, the full range, as she spends a bit more time away from the net.
Abigail Agoli, 6'1" redshirt freshman out of Atlanta, on to serve. Sturbu hanging in and playing defense. Well done by 22 in blue in the right back.
Creating a second chance opportunity. They funnel that attack right to the right back corner. She comes up with a dig and gives Cal a chance here in the fourth set.
Antonio is back on out of the Dominican Republic. Remember, she scored set point in the second. Working on Phils again. Smart shot. Carbonara off the edge of the block of Mullen. There's Sophia Johnson. Been very solid at the libero for Cal so far on the year. And good rip into the cross court, timing with Messer and Weejay. Weejay now with 13 kills, that is. Well handled by Johnson. And Antonio, automatic kill. Good pass, way to fight that off, and Mullen. Good pass. Taverdi working hard to make herself available. Good serve down the line. Mullen once again. Love this look, particularly with a tough server. And again, wonderful job by our crew.
Well, it's been a joy to watch you work.
Well, I can't thank you all at the Big Ten Network enough. That was really surprising and unexpected and very, very generous and kind. I appreciate it. Thank you, Ken. Deckard solid in reception. That's a rip, but nicely dug by Cal. Cal running out of time, down by 6. Block deflection is there. Oh, good try by Phils, looking for some hands, but missed it out of bounds. WeJ leading the way offensively with 14 kills. Mullen has done a really nice job in sets 3 and 4. And the kill as well. And that 20-12 is the advantage. The ace stands. Deckard, back-to-back aces. Big opening weekend for everybody. Cal will take on Virginia and Virginia Tech as they start ACC play. Nice play that time through the block and down. Sawyer Thompson, the 6'3" junior out of Lawrence, Kansas, with the kill, was very good in the middle section of this match. Antonio, number 30 in blue, comes back on. Dug by Sturbu. That's a good play. Carbonera out of the back row. Good communication with Sturbu. Good reaction by Messer to keep the ball off the floor. Fomoina, who's hitting for a good percentage. Playing it a little bit safe there. Fomoina, get you her number, 6 kills on 12 swings. Make it on 13. Good block. Ace serve, a lucky one off the tape to get us to match point. USC for the win.